Hello, hello. Can I get some disco pogs in the chat if you can hear this? We're into picking bands already. SDSMT banning Katarina Quinn Nico. They don't want to deal with that stuff. And UMT banning Morgana Orin Zach. They don't want to deal with that stuff. And we have the Leona first pick. Obviously, we saw the flex from Archer 66 showing why it's so good. Caitlyn and Jana. I don't know. What's English? Ooh, the Samira pickup. So, chat, I want to level you with you for a second. Samira is top shelf ADC with Leona. I know Shahai's cringing because he likes to play at mid lane, but Leona Samira bot lane, woo, spicy. And then obviously the Lilia pickup behind it. It really did SDSMT good last time, so they want to pick it up again. Why not? It's good CC. But we see the Volibear coming from Jet Jaguar himself. Little confused on the Senna hover. Okay, cool. We switched to Cassiopeia. Senna doesn't really go anywhere else, so I would have been a little upset if UMT banned it. But you know, I'm not gonna check Coach Ryan. You know, Coach Veggiecarp. He knows what he's doing. He's got them 5 head plays. He's thinking, you know, he's like a chess master. He's thinking about next week's game that's not even going to happen. But he's already thinking about it. I know he is. So, get the Syndra ban again. We'll see what UMT comes in from a ban. Darius, they did not like dealing with it last game, even though I think they handled it extremely well. They didn't let it run wild. But nonetheless, Coles is probably like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that no more. And the Mordekaiser ban. Because SDSMT was like, yeah, we don't want to deal with that Mordekaiser. I think we saw some chats earlier about this is why you ban Mordekaiser. So they banned Mordekaiser. They obviously were listening. But my man Jet Jaguar going in on the Volibear, one of his favorite champions, one of the ones he's most comfortable with. This man is the mountain. He will decimate. He will obliterate. He will roar. As Volibear. I couldn't think of a longer thing than those 2 words, so I'm going to say roar. Picking up the Orion again for Shahai. The ball delivery system worked really, really well for them last game, so Shahai wants to pick up that dank ball delivery again on the Volibear. Yone coming out. Another strong... I mean, you look at the... Leona, okay, we're back in like Season 2. But Samira, Lilia, Yone, what the heck? Literally some of the most OP champions in the whole game. And they are on the screen right now. That's a big yikes, I'd say. So, we're transitioning again, and we're transitioning back. Cho'Gath being the last pick. Going top, good amount of AP tankiness coming from Cho'Gath. We will see what Coles gets to respond with. His Quinn is banned, so it won't be the Quinn, but... what does Coles have in his back pocket for Cho'Gath? We've got 5 seconds to figure it out. 2, 1. Olaf coming out. I know Coles has been playing a lot of top Olaf, and it works. It works surprisingly well. You know, and if I'm to level with you again, chat, Coles is a very non-traditional top laner, and a lot of times it literally wrecks the enemy team. So don't think they saw the Olaf top lane coming. Of course the enemy team could be like, oh well, Volibear's probably gonna be top and Olaf's gonna go jungle. And it's not gonna happen. Not happening. But again, South Dakota, their team comp is pretty heavy as far as OP goes. I am believing in my boys, UMT, to pull the similar thing they did last game, except maybe not have such a goal deficit in the beginning. You know, I want to see them clean sweep this series, and you know, dust their coats off and go home. Well, they're already at home, so maybe dust their PJs off and go to bed or something like that. We are playing a little later than we normally do, so yeah. Oh, and it looks like we have Disco Potato in the chat, my man. I can't do this as well as you do. I have a new appreciation for everything you do, sir. I hope your trip was good. I hope it was vroomful. But you know, he knows what I mean by that. Yeah. But yeah, again, Olaf going top, Jet Jaguar taking the Volibear in the jungle. We knew that was gonna happen. Yeah, can I get some vroom vrooms in the chat for Disco Potato? He's a big boy now. He's got his car. He's ready to arrive in style to cast your next games. Like, this man is ready.
Think what I could offer.
All right. So again, some pretty good, solid picks from both sides. A lot of it's gonna come down to execution. I'm that bot lane. I have nothing against. Like, I think our bot lane is very, very well skilled, but holy cow, Samira Leona is literally the most just unforgiving things to go up against. I mean, so let me break it down here. Like, if you guys don't know what Samira does, what she does is every time there is something that immobilizes an enemy, a champion, she gets a miniature CC. She gets to lift that champion up for like a second, and then she'll finally like come down. So what you do is you pair her with Leona, which the first pick Leona might have been kind of 5-head. I know our coach, he likes to say coach diff. I'm hoping it's not draft diff. But what happens is Leona throws out her Zenith Blade, CCs you, Samira gets a free CC. Leona then Qs you, CC. Samira then gets another CC. There's no diminishing returns. You just get CC'd. So if you do it right, Leona and Samira cycle you into an endless CC loop where you eventually just die. I'm getting a correction in the chat from Slithifer. It's a half second of CC. So, but still pretty obnoxious. And then obviously what Samira gets to do is she gets to go all Devil May Cry Dante Katarina style on you and blow you up with her ultimate when she gets there. So, little worried about this bot lane. I feel like all the other lanes will match up pretty evenly or tip, you know, in the favor of UMT. You know, I'm just worried about if that Samira can get the first couple kills, she's going to be a very terror to deal with. But they do have a good amount of CC on UMT's side, so I'm not extremely worried. The only thing also is that Samira's W is I'm going to block everything that's thrown at me for 2 seconds, and so even if Olaf is trying to get on top of her, he can't throw his axes while her W is going because it just blows it up. Yikes, Samira in a nutshell. But for those of you who don't know, Can the Cats is happening November 6th through the 20th. We are going to be taking all donations during that time, all subscriptions, everything we can possibly get during that time period of the stream, donated all to the food bank. We really want to rep Can the Cats this year and really show Missoula, show Bozeman, show Montana that we are proud supporters of the food bank. The esports program wants to do the best they can to create it, to create as much hype around the fact that Can the Cats will still happen this year. The food drive has unfortunately not been able to have as many events due to COVID. Huge thing for us to be able to help host Can the Cats. Really excited for it. There's going to be an amateur tournament November 7th and 8th that will take place to support Can the Cats. Again, all proceeds during that time will go straight to Missoula Food Bank. It's going to be awesome. A bunch of Missoula community players are going to get together. They're going to play in a tournament. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of businesses are coming out to support that. Again, just a really great community event. We then will have an exhibition match between us and MSU, which will also be another awesome little thing. It'll be our take on the Brawl of the Wild, the Bobcat Griz game that normally happens when football is in session, but due to the pandemic and COVID-19, we are unfortunately not having football this year. So instead of having a football game between MSU and UMT, we're going to have a League of Legends game between MSU and UMT, and it's going to be a slobber knocker. It's going to be awesome. Again, it goes to support Can the Cats, which is our local food drive, where we help get food. Last year, I think Missoula raised about $421,000 pounds of food for the food drive. We really want to show that even in a pandemic, when people need it the most, that we can step up and help. So we cannot wait for your guys' support during that time. And as always, proud representation of the UC Game Room. They just got their Cyber Cafe lab up and running. A lot of awesome sweet PCs are in there, ready to use, have all of our esports games ready and available and installed on them. All you have to do is pay a couple bucks for an hour. You get to sit down, you get to play, you get to have fun, you get to live the life of an esports athlete here at the University of Montana. It'll be a lot of fun. But without further ado, we are going to get into the loading screen. Again, really, really awesome stuff we have going on. We're back to the Battle of the Skin War. I saw 4 skins to 3 skins, I'm going to say. I'm still going to call UMT the winners there. I don't know if they actually are, but I think they are. I'm going to say they are. We'll find out here in a second when everyone finds out for level 1. I don't know how much for one-on-one couching, Sithifer. That's a little, I don't know. Vegicarp, do you do couching sessions? Is that a thing? If you're doing something that I don't know about, like, that's fine. But coaching, got it, coaching, yeah. I hear Vegicarp is pretty good. Like, he has genuinely good coaching sessions where he tells you a lot of things. In fact, he has a YouTube video out there I highly recommend going and checking out about wording. So, I would check that out on YouTube. It is definitely a good video to watch. And so we're fanning out. Looks like Lily is going to start on blue side. I think what they're trying to do, as you can see, SDSMT is trying to get a bushwhack. So this is I mean, we haven't seen this stuff in a while, but this is kind of what you used to, some lanes used to do that had a lot of CC. What they would try to do is they would sit in the top brush and wait for the enemy laners to come down, and then they would basically gank them. Again, Samira has a stupid amount of CC when you're paired with a support with a stupid amount of CC. So what they're looking for is emergency to walk down, then they're going to Zenith Blade on top. Oh no, actually it's going to flash, and there is the slide in. They're trying to kill Archer, and they get him. Samira in a nutshell. Yeah. So Samira took her E, which allows her to slide to the target, and when she slides to the target, she is then able to auto attack them in melee with her giant blade, which does a little bit more damage and is a little bit faster. But yeah, that is Samira in a nutshell, and unfortunately they get the kill. That is at the expense of 2 flashes and an ignite from bot lane. So if Jet Jaguar is able to capitalize on this, he could come bot lane and look for that return gank and try to, or not return gank, but first time gank, because he hasn't been there, and try to get some damage down. But being that Jet Jaguar is doing a blue to red clear and then his race, my guess is he's going to try to go for top scuttle, which will not allow him to necessarily be near bot lane, though he does have a 5-minute window to make that happen. A little bit less now because some time has passed, but it is possible for him to come down and try to gank, though Lily is trying to play around that bot side, and my guess is that's exactly why she did a blue to red clear is to be bot lane in case Jet Jaguar does try to roam bottom. And they want to get that bot lane dominance. Like I said, if SDSMT is going to win this game, it's going to be through bot lane. It's going to be through the Samira Leona pick. It is a very nasty thing. Looks like Jaguar's making his way towards the mid lane, trying to get a little bit of damage down onto Yone, maybe force him off the wave a little bit. Yone's kind of he was set up in a good spot to avoid that. Lilia low health right now. Jet Jaguar is gonna see her, is gonna notice he can flash Q and try to get a kill, does do it. Lilia, just unfortunate that she decided to try to walk for that scuttle. I feel like that was such a greed scuttle to have. You know, her bot lane was winning. She didn't necessarily need to pressure anything, but Leona roaming up trying to prevent UMT from securing that bot lane scuttle crab. So I guess not all is necessarily lost. Jet Jaguar did have to flash for the kill, but as long as Jet Jaguar is not caught with his pants down, he'll do pretty good. Some Yone damage. Shahai's trying to kind of out-duel him, and I mean, unfortunately, Mini Lawrence has the fleet foot, so he is kind of regaining that health. Lilia is mid lane. I think, yeah, it's best wise that Shahai backs and TP's back mid lane. Just so Yone doesn't get his surprise Q or something like that. As you can see, top lane, Coles goes in, gets some trades. He's just picking up the axe, throwing that corruption, drinking that corruption pot, throwing the axe out, trying to get some damage done. Cho'Gath has a ridiculous amount of sustain, though, unfortunately. Every time a minion dies, he's able to get a little bit of life back. Or it might be that he has to kill the minion. I'm not 100% positive. I don't remember. I haven't seen Cho'Gath in a little while, but he gains health regardless, so he is able to kind of sustain that damage. Yone trying to get a little bit more damage done before he TP's back in. He's definitely going to do that. Oh, that was a good interrupt from Jet Jaguar. So if Shahai pushes this hard, he might be able to get this under turret and force at least a little bit of CS loss from Yone. Definitely requiring him to TP back. So yeah, it's on kill. That's kind of what I thought. So, and Cho'Gath is pretty good at farming, so you know, he just whacks the CS and gets some health back. So Yone back mid lane. E is only level 5, Orianna level 6. Yone able to get that level 6. Going in for the ult. There's a huge ult coming out. Shahai, I don't think he's missing the shockwave. Gets the flash to avoid. Does he get out in time? Yone just has to get the auto. Oh no, Jet Jaguar is there, but he has almost no health. Double kill from Mini Lawrence coming in. That was really awkward. I know Jet Jaguar was trying to get in there to at least try to help Shahai or stun him in tower range, but just unfortunately doesn't get it. Handing over 2 kills to Yone. Oh, that's a Sag, I think, or sad, whatever the millennial kids use these days. Like I said, I'm just a boomer, so that's what happens when you have a boomer broadcast radio. Boomer broadcast radio, BBR, I don't know. Lilia looking to hit somebody with her ball, try to get that in. Yeah, getting kill baited in 20. Yeah, getting kill baited. That's unfortunate. Jet Jaguar thinking maybe he thought that he was the old Volibear that got his health regen when like he got to a certain percentage. I mean, I know I forget that stuff sometimes too, so, but I know he was trying to get back up on that Yone. Just does not play out the way he wants it to. Yone trying to come in for that harass against Shahai. Take in a tower shot, so that actually evens out pretty good for Shahai. He just needs to land that sweet shockwave, and he will be able to get a lot more damage done. I think Mini Lawrence knows that, so he's trying to CS at a range. Shahai trying to zone him off, getting that ball damage in. Lakey level 6, looking for that. They're coming in, and Jet Jaguar is coming in behind. Does he get it? He gets the ult down. He's going for the stun, the drowsy and the sleep, but he has a lot of health. He gets the shield, so no kills on either side. Good zone away. That was good pressure from Jet Jaguar, trying to make something happen. Luckily, Lilia didn't have a ton ton of life or ton of health either. So, you know, basically both sides trade their ultimates. Shahai holds on to his, Mini Lawrence holds on to his. So even trade across the board. We're looking for the ult. He's going to ult in. Oh, Shahai makes a nice sidestep and is able to avoid the ult while holding on to his. So if Shahai plays this right, he could definitely make an outplay on there. But we all know Shahai's really, really good at those critical times we need him to hit the right abilities. But right now he has no mana. And unfortunately, Yone does not need mana to do stuff. So Shahai's going to take the recall. And not push his luck. Cole's trying to get a little bit of harass down, farm the wave. This is just basically a farm fest top lane. Cole's doing actually an extremely good job, almost 25 CS up on his opponent. Really kind of showing his lane opponent. He's like, hey man, I'm gonna out farm you. But Cho'Gath getting the Bramble Vest, which means that he's going to have a lot harder time. Jet Jaguar going in for the flash. He's hitting. Unfortunately, Yone has to go back to where he makes his clone. Lily is coming mid lane, though. Does she have her sleep up? She does not. So she's not able to get the sleep. Jet Jaguar come in. And there's a kill bot lane. Looks like there's a tower dive happening. Oh, lots of tower shots coming in. That was a hardcore tower dive from SDSMT. Oh, Coles was able to get the vision on. And oh, the ultimate from Emergency. Fire in the hole. Dude's dead. I know Fire in the Hole is not the name of the ability, but I wanted to say Fire in the Hole, so screw it. But Shahai looking to try to get again that little bit of damage on Mini Lawrence. Coles is kind of like eyeballing. He's like, Gary, can I throw my axe at you? Doesn't get the axe off. Oh, he did get the axe off, but in the last 0.5 seconds of the recall, you basically are immune and you go back anyway. It doesn't matter, you know. Spaghetti Code Riot. That was pretty pog from Emergency. And Cole's able to get the vision to show him, hey, look, Leona's right here. If you just use your ultimate, you'll kill her. And she does. So, Caitlyn kind of back in this game now. Towers do a lot more damage over time. So, you know, 1 tower shot, 2 tower shot, you're kind of dead tower shot. I think the sounding was right. Leona just took one, you know, I think there was a little bit of greed from that Samira. Trying to get that last kill on Emergency. They probably could have gotten the kill on Archer 66 and just walked out and been fine. But Samira really wanted to spin and win and thought that she could get Emergency, but unfortunately Coles with that clutch TP bot lane is able to say, hey, I'm here too, guys. You're not just fighting my bot lane, and able to really get that pressure. Shahai getting pressured by Yone. This is kind of what Yone players do. Getting into the ult, barely hits him. I would question that. I think that's personally debatable. That was a really good tornado from Archer 66. That's what you want to do. Coach Jimmy is just clapping his hands. He's saying, yeah, Archer 66, that's what you do against Leona when you're Janna. Because that's what you do, you know. She tries the Zenith Blade in, and you tornado her, and then she just kind of stops. Sad day for Leona. But anyway, so really, really good reaction from Archer 66 to make sure that CC didn't come through. Looks like that they're looking for a little bit of. There's a stun on Samira, stun on Jet Jaguar. There's the ridiculous thing. Disable the tower. He says your tower's not going to be a player in this game as I kill Samira. Jet Jaguar coming in with the own Volibear dunk. So that's our Jet Jaguar. You know, knowing when he can say, hey, I'm here, this Samira's dead. I'm going to make sure this tower... For those of you who didn't know, Volibear's ultimate disables the tower. There's a big engage coming from Coles, making himself unstoppable. Cho'Gath is unable to knock him up during the unstoppable. Coles, very wisely, does not engage. Oh, there's a flash in from Yone. I think that was a little BM from Shahai. He was not respecting that at all. And he just kind of let it happen. Like... That was a little unfortunate. Yeah, we kind of need like a Volibear emote or like a Grizzly Bear emote for every time that Jet Jaguar like dunks somebody like that. That was just a little unfortunate. I think that was the shopping syndrome of unable to realize that there's somebody there. All right, so Lakey looking to try to push in this top tower. Very, very classic League of Legends. When a tower has 2 turret plates left on it, you want to summon Rift Herald because Rift Herald will just kill the tower, and it's a lot of gold. So, Lakey wisely coming top lane with the Rift Herald. There is only 1 plate left, so maybe it's a little overdone summoning the Rift Herald in there, but they want to secure that tower. They want to say, yes, I 100% want this tower. Shahai just getting all in, and that's kind of Yone in a nutshell. So yeah, that Yone things, right? It's yeah. I think there's like a Rito fair and balanced champion emote or something like that. Yeah, yeah. Big dive coming in bot lane. Jaina with the tornado. Lots of damage coming out to Leona. Samira getting her ult off, and that's what makes her really, really scary, is that she gets that mobility reset when a kill happens. So if emergency wouldn't have gone down, Samira probably would have died. But that was a well executed dive by SDSMT, and again, just another kind of showcase of how powerful Samira is. I always have to talk about this because I've been playing, because I'm a filthy solo queue player, and I've been playing a lot of really good side step by Shy there. But I'm a filthy solo queue player. You do not build Essence Reaver first on Samira. It is actually not as good as doing Bloodthirster first. Bloodthirster into IE, really OP, has won me pretty much all my Samira games. I 100% recommend it. I think that was Coach Diff from Coach Vegicarp or Coles, one of the two, recommended doing the Bloodthirster IE first. So I'm going to give it credit to one of those two. They can fight over who it was. But yeah, so that's just such a critical thing that I think a lot of Samiras get trapped into. Okay, we got a big knockup coming from Shahai. Big damage coming out from Yone. It's just, yeah, just Yone things, you know. Oh, there's a big axe coming down from Coles, roaming mid. Jet Jaguar with the ultimate to try to get a little bit more HP, a little bit more survivability. That Yone bit a little more than he could chew, pun intended from Volibear. But luckily, UMT able to capitalize and shut that down. But that Yone is getting really big. So yeah, back to my Samira talk. That's my PSA for Samira. Go Bloodthirster IE. You will win a ton of games with it. It is ridiculously OP, especially if you go Bloodthirster first, because Bloodthirster is really strong on Samira, and you'll survive about anything as long as they don't build Executioner's Calling, which for the most part they don't. So yeah, because it's solo queue. But this has been my PSA. So SDSMT coming in to secure the win Drake. Again, one of my favorite Drakes. It's actually not as much when I play Samira because her ult doesn't rely on a cooldown. It relies on her combos. So not as good, in my opinion, when I'm playing Samira, and I'm selfish like that. So not as good in my opinion, but still a good Drake overall for the other champions that are on SDSMT's side. Cho'Gath coming in the mid lane with Coles, doing a little farm fest. Again, this is kind of just the top lane in a nutshell, just farm fest. Cole's walking into the Lilia ball, but Lilia's like, why would I sleep you, Coles? I think he was trying to bait it out, say, hey, sleep me, Lilia, and Lilia's like, yeah, no, you have ult. You're not. You have unstoppable. You're gonna Ragnarok, and I'm not gonna be able to get you. So then, it looks like Yone has switched to top. There's an unstoppable coming out from Coles. Coles is trying to hit the Yone, misses the first axe, gets the knockup. Yone is gonna combo him down, and yeah, Yone. Just Yone things. Hashtag just Yone things. That's a good question, Disco Potato. I don't know about the Dragon Timer. I mean, honestly, I think the timers look a little weird if there's still the like, oh, there it is. Ha! Dragon Timer's up. All right, cool. So Yone has just basically kind of become the raid boss and is pushing top inhibitor. There's gonna have to be a lot of resources invested, I think, to kill Yone. But if Yone plays right, it's gonna be really hard to. Yone doesn't have his ult. Jet Jaguar maybe looking for an engage. Shahai behind, looking for that flank. Yone trying to get the shield, trying to get knockups. Big ult coming out from Jaina, and Olaf secures the kill, but a lot spent from the UMT side. That was 4 ults for just Yone, which is kind of scary when you think about it. We do have a hefty 8k gold lead from SDSMT. I have seen them bring it back before. That's not necessarily a bad thing for them. Oh, does he catch him in time? No, that was so close. I think Samira was clenching there just a little bit, wondering if she was going to get out in time or not. Luckily, Gage didn't, Coles didn't check with an axe, otherwise that might have been an interrupted backing and a pretty brutal wake up for Samira. So, but able to get out in time. Knight's Valkyrie done on Leona, making Samira even stronger. She is going Essence Reaver into Bloodthirster. Again, I really think Essence Reaver is a trap, but that's my opinion. They are gonna got all 3 outer towers in, got top inner tower, and I think top inhibitor tower is down. Pretty sure it is. So, you know, there is a exposed inhibitor. Big ult coming in from Leona onto Shahai, but does not actually connect. Shahai able to walk out and not die, which is always a good thing. Dying is not a good thing in this game, unfortunately. And Shahai trying to get a little zoning off, but Yone's ult barely catching Shahai there and barely killing Volibear. Coles is going in though. He's like, I really want to kill this Yone. Oh wait, no, your whole team is there. That's a little yikers. Looks like Lilia's trying to fight off Coles. I think she might have bitten off a little bit more than she could chew though. Like Coles does a little bit more damage. But they will secure that mid lane tower. Again, just a ridiculous amount of CC. I would like to petition replay, even though I know we can't have that right now, but that Yone ult did not look like it should have hit. It did though, and it knocked some people up. People died, Volibear and Orianna in particular. So SDSMT, not happy with the way the last game went. Didn't like the fact that they ended up losing in that first game. Wants to make a strong showing. Looks like there's a little bit of a collapse coming on to Cho'Gath in the mix of also trying to get some dragon control. Dragon is up in 30 seconds. It would be really, really good for UMT to secure a Mountain Drake. We did have Mountain Drake last game, but Mountain Drake would be really good because they would be less susceptible to the burst damage of the things like Yone and a Samira. But will UMT be able to secure it as the top inhibitor is being pressured? They've got 5 seconds left and it is dark for UMT, so I think they're gonna give up this mountain in the hopes of them being able to fight another day. Unfortunately, Coles is not on Lilia. I would love to see it, but has not been picked yet. It's always fun to watch him. There's some cool highlights that we got from the Durley Invitational of Cole sleeping 5 people with Lilia. It was pretty pog. Looks like SDSMT just trying to work through this side lane. Coles goes unstoppable. He's trying to stop this Yone from coming in. Trap onto Mini Lawrence. There's some flashes. The Zenith played in. Fight going off. Samira ends up taking out Orianna on the side as they're trying to chase down Leona here. They're wanting to get some kind of trade back, and at least Cole should be able to secure Leona. But there, oh, does she? Okay, he does get Leona, but there's a TP in from Yone. Samira gets a second ult off. They having to back out. That was a really, really hard fought fight from both sides. There was some good uses of ults. There's, you know, a little bit split up, but UMT unfortunately not able to close that gap. And I realized I said Samira's gonna carry. Yone's actually done a significant amount of carrying already. Mini Lawrence doing really, really well on this Yone, but again, Samira is just a troublesome champion to go against. Both Yone and and Samira. Honestly, there's a lot of crazy champs on SDSMT's side. I'm getting some pronunciation corrections, and I'm gonna settle with Yasuo squared for the new name. So looks like UMT trying to get some vision on the Baron, wanting to make sure there's about a 10 gold deficit. Leona on the side collapsing down on UMT. This would actually be a really good fight because it's just Leona right now. Someone needs to blast that blast cone before she pops it, and she's gonna blast it and get over the edge. So Leona does make it out okay, without having to expend anything that would cause her to be at a disadvantage for this next fight. 3-man shockwave coming in from Shahai, but unfortunately no one is able to follow up. Yone coming in though with his ult. There's a big sleep that's coming down across 3 members, and Samira and Lilia and Yone clean up the fight. Yeah, that was a big ult coming in from Yone, from Samira, getting the cleanup. It looks like these guys may try to go for a 2 inhibitor play and then a back. I don't know if they'll have, I mean, I feel like they should have the ability to end the game if they wish. Lilia seems pretty hell-bent on taking this middle turret though. Looks like they're gonna take 1 turret and walk away. Looks like maybe they're trying to go for a more clean take of UMT. Maybe I'm speculating, but I feel like they could have potentially ended the game right there, but I could be wrong. But looks like they want to try to get this this Baron control. There's some backs coming in, a Yone farming above them, trying to clear out some vision. Looks like maybe SDSMT is trying to set up for Baron play. Archer 66 being caught out by Yone. Coles is sitting on top of him though. He's like, hey, I know you're here. I'm gonna see if I can kill you. Unstoppable coming out from Coles with his Ragnarok, but Yone able to walk out of the fight. Sorry, Sithifer, I wouldn't have a voice to sing Silver Scrapes. As much as I know people come to hear me sing, I can't do that. Like, it's just not possible. I'm sorry. There would be no caster for game 3 if this. What am I saying? There is no game 3. UMT is gonna pull this back. Looks like SDSMT's starting up Baron. UMT's not in a position to contest it. Theoretically, they'll take Baron, and they will then try to secure the game. We will see how that happens. Yone on his 3-item power spike, the IE, PD, and Death Dance. Very, very scary. Only Coles has healing reduction on the side of UMT. Shahai has not finished his Merlenomicon, and Caitlyn does not have a Executioner's Calling yet. Dragon is coming up. It looks like SDSMT wants to secure this dragon before using their Baron to try to close out the game, which is fine. You know, more objectives the better. So they will take that. It looks like they want to try to maybe push bot lane in order to secure inhibitor number 2, and maybe try to sweep in and take inhibitor number 3. Cole's doing his best to clear super mutants in the top. Emergency and Shahai trying to do their best to zone. That is a pretty big super minion wave though, along with a cannon, and they are slowly pushing their way into UMT's base. Really well played so far by SDSMT, doing exactly what they need to do. Big ultimate coming out from Leona. Sleep coming in from Lilia with the Legion to Leona ult. And Samira just whacking away at the center. All Dante, Devil May Cry style. Pew pew, gun gun, pow pow. And Jet Jaguar and Archer 66, the last 2 UMT players standing, as looks like there's a shutdown from Jet Jaguar. Just a little bit of swag at the end, but SDSMT secures game 2. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going on to a game 3. Cue the Silver Scrapes. I'm not singing that. I'm gonna go get a drink of water. Ladies and gentlemen, stick around for game 3.